In this video, I'm going to talk through the 100% bar chart demo and the code necessary to create it. The chart itself is a simple stacked bar chart. However, the data is not initially in the correct format, so it does require reformatting from its original state. All of the values add up to 100%. However, if they didn't, then we could easily convert these to values that do with a little maths magic. Okay, let's just go and have a look at the chart itself. There we go, how wonderful. As usual, there are 3 sections to the code required for this demo. There are the libraries that are included, the core and the bar chart library. The core library is needed all the time, and the bar chart library is just for showing bar charts. Then we have the canvas container, which contains the canvas tag itself. The canvas tag has the usual width, height, and ID attributes. We don't strictly need to put the canvas tag inside a container div. It just might make things a little bit easier to manipulate if we do. Now, if we move on to the JavaScript code, as you can see, the initial data is an array with 5 nested arrays, each of which has 16 pieces of data. To start with, the data is not quite in the correct format for a stacked bar chart, so we're going to have to do a little formatting first. The data2 array is initialized, and that's what's going to contain our final data when we finish processing the original data, and which will then give to the bar chart. Then we move on to the for loops. The outer for loop has 16 iterations, 1 for each of the pieces of data, and also initializes the temporary ARR variable. And then the inner loop iterates 5 times, getting the relevant piece of data from each of the 5 arrays which are in the data array. Okay, let's just scroll this window down so that you can see the code. There we go. Now, if the values didn't add up to 100, we can convert them by dividing each piece of data by the total of the stack and then multiplying the result by 100. So, for example, the first stack has individual values of 7, 2, 58, 10, and 23. So to convert the values to percentages, we would divide each individual value by the sum of all of the values and then multiply the resulting number by 100. So in this case, the values add up to 100, so we don't have to perform this step. But if we had, for example, 3 values of 56, 78, and 12, we would have 3 calculations of 56 divided by the total times by 100, 78 divided by the total times by 100, and 12 divided by the total times by 100. This would result in an array of 3 values, 38.36, 53.42, and 8.22. And these values add up to 100, so they can easily be plotted on our chart. After the inner loop has finished, the temporary ARR array is added to the data2 variable. Now, if we scroll down a bit more, it's jumping, so here we go, lovely. Okay, moving on to the bar chart object creation, we pass it the ID of the canvas tag. As usual, this is CVS. It doesn't have to be CVS, it's just a convention used on the rgraph website. We also give it the data2 variable that we created up above, and then we have the configuration. The grouping for the chart is set to stacked, and there are 5 pieces of data per stack. The text size is increased a little. The margins are increased slightly. The margin inner is either side of the bar itself. Various x-axis options are set, including the angles of the text that the labels are drawn at. A little offset is applied to the x-axis labels and the x-axis itself is turned off so that it's not drawn. The labels are, however, still drawn. It's just the x-axis itself that's not drawn, and the y-axis is turned off too. And finally, units are applied to the end of the numbers on the y-axis scale. And that's all there is to making this chart. Thanks for listening, and if you have any questions, then feel free to post me a message in the R Graph support forum. See you in the next video.